Morning and welcome to our thought for the day. I'd like to read you some more verses from Psalm 107 and it's verse 3 to 6, please. It says this: "And gathered them out of the lands from the east and from the west and from the north and from the south. They wandered in the wilderness in a solitary way. They found no city to dwell in. Hungry and thirsty, their soul fainted in them. And they cried unto the Lord in their trouble, and he delivered them out of all their distresses." The title I've given to my thought today is simply this: don't wander in the wilderness, but rely upon his word. You see, verse 3 of our psalm says, "And gathered them out of the lands from the east and from the west and from the north and from the south." He redeems us and then he gathers us. From every part of the world, nothing can divide us from him. He gathers his body together. You and me, the redeemed of the Lord, he brings us together. What a glorious, wonderful shepherd we have. He brings us together that we may serve him in unity. He brings us through countless perils and at last makes us to lay down in green pastures. Surely, friends, there is no shepherd like the good shepherd. I trust he's your shepherd this morning. Verse 4 says they wandered in the wilderness in a solitary way. They found no city to dwell in. It says they wandered. They were in a wilderness. They were alone. They were in a solitary place. Like the sinner who is lost in sin, there was no dwelling place, no travellers for company. They were lonely and under the heat of the sun, and loneliness and weariness will bring stress. And the sinner will find himself in such a place, alone, forgotten, helpless, and on the borders of hell, its very self. No city to dwell in. Thank God we who know and love Christ, we have a city. We are just pilgrims here passing through, but we have a city whose maker is God himself. The next verse goes on to say, "Hungry and thirsty, their soul fainted in them. Their spirit sank within them. They were utterly exhausted. Earthly supplies had gone. Food and water had gone. Nowhere to get more." And that may describe someone who is listening this morning. No hope, all alone, and just about to faint. You come to the end, just about to faint under the stress of life and the burdens of life. But if that's you, friends, thank God for the next verse. For it says, yes, this: "Here is water for your thirst, and here is food for your health." Verse 6 says, "They cried unto the Lord in their trouble." They cried unto the Lord in their trouble. Note, it was not until they reached their extremities that they prayed. And thank God they prayed in the right way, and they prayed to the right person. They cried, it says, and they cried unto the Lord. Friends, if you are in need this morning, don't run to anyone else, run to Jesus. Cry unto the Lord, call upon him, and he will be all that you could ever need. There was nothing else they could do. Is that you this morning? Have you come to the end? And cry unto the Lord, for he hears the sincere prayer. And did you notice what followed that sincere prayer? Did you notice what followed that sincere cry? It was total deliverance. Not a partial, total deliverance. For it says, "And he delivered them out of all their distresses." Isn't that wonderful? There might be someone listening this morning and the burdens seem to have gone on top of each other. The stress seems to be too much. Friends, God is able to deliver you, not from one, but from all of them. He sets you free from all of them. You see, true prayer will always bring true deliverance. Their cry must have been feeble, for they were faint. And their faith was weak, just as weak as their cry to God. But they were still heard at once by the Almighty God. You see, any delay would have meant their death. But there is no delay when you call upon the Lord in times of trouble. He will deliver you from all your distresses. Or today, that you will call upon the Lord, and he will deliver you. Friend, take that truth, grasp that truth, make it yours, that you will testify to the delivering power of a living God. God bless you, and I look forward to speaking with you again tomorrow morning.